if I drive. I'm on record as saying we'll go out recruit again if I can drive. He turning and looking at me, asking me questions. I'm hitting the brake on the best and see it don't work. Yeah, no, but you know, Coach Trickett, he's a recruiting machine now. The guy can go. So I was breathing heavy keeping up with him. Yeah, you know, that was another a guy I wanted to be around because, you know, every year at East Carolina we play West Virginia, and we had some monster football games. When he left, I knew we had a chance to beat him. That year we beat him 24-3. It's the first thing I noticed. As soon as I watched the film, I said, we can beat this team. I'm still worried about Pat White, you know, but there was a big difference. And just to watch, you know, I was an O-line coach. That was my first position. You know, I GA'd for Joe Moore, who, you know, may have been one of the greatest ever. So, you know, and Rick Trickett is, you know, revered as a great line coach. I wanted to be around him. I want to learn from him.
At East Carolina, were you in the booth?
On the field. Can't cook from the living room.
What, you guys figured out exactly?
No, I don't. I know. You know, I like being in the pulse. You know, it's, you know, when you watch the game. I coordinated from the field. When I was a line, you know, I've been a line coach, so I've been on the field my whole career. So, but I'll do whatever they need me to do.
Can you talk about the adjustment from going from offense to defense, and who were some influences and how'd you do that?
You know, well, after playing linebacker and then the job at Redlands, I was coaching linebackers there, so I shouldn't say my first job. But when I went to Notre Dame, when I came back as a GA, I had to meet with Coach Holtz at the Marriott in Atlanta at the coaches convention. And of course, when I walked in to meet him, Jerome Bettis and Tommy Carter had just declared for the draft, so Coach wasn't in a very good mood. So I got ripped for them going to the league, you know. And he asked me what I wanted to do, what were my goals as a football coach. And, you know, I idolized Foch Fazio and Barry Alvarez. You know, those were the guys that I really looked up to as coaches defensively in the college ranks. And I said, I want to be like Coach Alvarez, defensive coordinator, and become a head coach. He goes, good, I'm going to put you on offense. And I thought, first thing I thought was, oh my God, I'm going to work with Joe Moore. And I just sort of looked at him. He said, you'll thank me later. And he said, I'm considered an offensive coach, but I coached the secondary at Ohio State with Tatum and those guys. And he said, it'll be the best thing to happen to you. And you know, then Skip hired me as offensive line coach, and then Rick Minter brought me back as tight ends, and then he moved me to running backs. And I really learned some things then, you know. And I needed a couch in my office instead of a chair. Everybody wanted the ball, so it was psych services every day. And I finally used my counseling degree from Redlands, you know. And so the move back was easier than I thought, because I thought I was going to be an offensive line coach probably forever. But then going back, Rick Smith, who is you know, a graduate of Florida State, Rick became our defensive coordinator at Cincinnati. And when he took the job, he said to Minter, I'll take it as long as Greg Hudson can be my linebacker coach. And that's when I went back. So it really made defense easier to understand, because I knew what offenses were doing. I really did. It changed the way I looked at football. I've been lucky, very lucky. I recommend it to all the young coaches. You got to go on the other side of the ball. You have to, especially with the way offenses are today. You have to understand. I have to keep studying it and asking questions on why they do this or that. But it's easier for me to, you know, metabolize it because I've done it. Still give up touchdowns.
You said you watched video from last year's episode.
Right.
What was the first thing that jumped out at you watching that video?
That they played a lot of players. A lot of guys have played, so we have guys that have work on Saturday. You know, that's hard to get to get out on the field. But I've been able to watch most of the linebackers returning and the defensive linemen and the secondary. I saw the speed. When I see a linebacker run a guy down from the right hash, but he catches him at the sideline to the field, I like to see that. Just the speed of what the guys have and some of the athletic ability. D linemen hurdle offensive linemen on the ground and keep running at 300 pounds. That's impressive. So we've some good clay here. We really do. We gotta mold it right and teach it right, and we'll be okay.
Do you have like sizes in your mind that this is the size of middle linebacker in terms of weights?
Middle linebacker?
Yeah.
I like a guy that's. The reason I want him to have some height is it usually comes with arm length. And if linemen, they don't call holding anymore, so you're going to get held. You've got to be able to engage and get off a block. And if you're under 6 foot, chances are you don't have long arms. It's going to be tough for you. If you're under 6 foot, you've got to be special. You know what I mean? You've got to be really special. We have some guys that we're recruiting who are in that capacity, and there's, they could have a chance of being special. But the guys that are 6'2", everybody wants them 6'2", 228 pounds, and run a 4.6. They can do that. If a guy's 240 and he can run, that's fine. If a guy's 228 and he can't run, that's not okay. Here we got to have the package. You've got to. I want to look like that guy, number 10. I want those guys. Prototype.
So you're missing bike week, is that right?
Yeah, that's a bummer.
What's your bike?
It's all right, I got a good job. Might get me a new bike.
What is your bike?
I have a 98 Softail Custom Harley Davidson. I have a Harley, I don't have a bike.
That's true.
And I miss it.
Yeah. Trickett's an enthusiast too, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a bonding instantly off of that. Yeah. So, looking forward to getting my bike down here. And
your Harley down here.
All right. Yeah. I don't think she's going to let me get a new one. I'm trying to, the one at ECU had purple and gold in it, just ironically. I can't paint it. It's a limited edition. I can't do that. She's like, no. I need a garnet and gold Harley Davidson.
I think the original school colors here were actually purple.
Really?
You go, I'm talking about, now, was Florida State Women's College at the time?
No. That's not going to fly. Yeah. So, no, I'm not a nut or anything that's, on every bike week or something like that. But I like it. A lot. So, anything else, guys? Ladies?
Everybody good?